since EDG have won MSI, to take a game off of the starting MSI roster is unlimited potential. So right now, Masters 3, feeling a little bit of a flashback.
Yeah, they're definitely frightened. As we can see, M3 starting off with the Fizz ban there, making sure Flandre can't grab that champion there towards the top side of the map. Kalista, of course, going to be banned away on Snake's side. As we mentioned, generally having to ban the Ryze and Kalista on the red side of the Rift, especially the Ryze against M3 with Looper and Dade running around the Rift.
That is a big, scary flex pick. You know what? Rio can probably play it in the support. I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a very good point.
Ooh, they ban Echo. Okay. So forced to ban Echo from blue side. I talked about how Snake probably wouldn't ban it from purple anyway, just because Condi doesn't play it.
Well, M3 can now ban away the Gragas if they want to, and then put Janna in
second
the hands
rotation
of Rio if they want to. So we'll see whether that's something that they decide to do. Make sure that that extra disengage power that the Janna does offer is not going to be in their hands. But M3 actually decide to ban away the Victor. Might be that Dade's looking for a first pick of Zia, something like that. Take it away from you.
They could be trying to prioritize Janna itself and then denying the second rotation power pick of Victor.
Potentially.
Curious, Ruo has shown that he can play Janna, but it's typically more that engage style, obviously coming from a jungler background.
Well, if I was Snake, I'd probably just leave either Gragas or Janna up. Make sure that you can grab one of those each, and the Azir is going to be banned away. So Dade does have the opportunity to go for that Ezreal if he wants to. That's the one that's really slipped through this pick and ban phase.
First pickup will be the Gragas for Condi. And again, we talk about how Condi plays Rek'Sai and Lee Sin, but his Gragas has gotten exponentially better. Just not statistically relevant quite yet, just because he put in so many games that unfortunately didn't translate into any sort of victory. So his score line doesn't look very strong. And again, it then prompts Snake to pick up Janna on second rotation, because you cannot give a team both Gragas and Janna.
Well, M3 now have the opportunity to go for the Ezreal if they want to. ZZR back on the Rek'Sai, of course, was what he played very early on. As soon as he hopped onto the roster, it was ZZR saying, okay, I can play Rek'Sai. And then it was after that that he really started mixing everything up.
It also hides a lot of their hands, taking the jungle, knowing what that matchup is going to be. There was no need to pick up Rek'Sai. It wasn't like it was going to be a contested pick.
Yeah,
so then this is just Snake trying to say, okay, so Victor and Azir are left off the board. Let's hide our hand a little bit and see if we can get more counter options.
Well, SMLZ, considering the Corki, of course, has had some success, mostly in the early stages of games. Of course, SMLZ...
got his pentakill.
Yeah, able to make things happen on that champion, but generally falls off, struggles a little bit to carry a game through once he does get a lead. But Ruo back on the Braum one more time and seeing whether, with the Corki, can make a little bit more happen. And Martin... more than happy to pick up the Vayne one more time, and Flandre back on a comfort pick of the Maokai by the looks of things, but still with a lot of time to think this one through, but I would not be surprised if these two got picked up.
Again, creating a lot of space and zone control for Martin on this Vayne, and opening up the counter pick for you available on top of Dade since they are on purple side. I kind of feel like it's going to be a Yasuo.
Could potentially be, of course. They've got a lot of knockups. In fact, everyone on that team has a knockup ability. Or at least a displacement ability that you can use Last Breath on.
Corki?
No, I'm talking about Snake. If you wanted to play Yasuo.
Oh, no, I'm talking about Dade, dear.
Yeah, no, I understand. But
Snake could totally do it as well.
It's so much better. Oh, dear. But, of course, Gragas, Yasuo, generally a combo that we see a fair bit. Not recently, but has been something that has well and truly worked out. The Explosive Cask, a fantastic tool for setting up your Yasuo to make some plays. Lupa looking to grab the other side of the matchup last game. As he grabs that Gnar to take towards the top side.
Every time players try to do this on Flandre, where they play his reverse matchup in second game, it never ends well for them. Who was he playing against the other night where he had it was a Fizz versus Maokai, which is just a matchup that Flandre loves, but he was playing the Maokai into the Fizz, and he just...
didn't matter.
He diggity dumpstered.
He did. Did do a little bit of that.
Looper?
Now looking, yeah, is making a different decision here. But Ezreal, no surprises.
I wanted the Yasuo. I believed in you, Dade, and you just let me down.
Dade hasn't switched over to Smite just yet. It might be that SMLZ plays the Ezreal and we'll have a mid Corki.
No, there he goes. He switched to Smite. It's going to be Ezreal.
Oh, I wanted the mid Corki. Of course, there's been, you know, He's very strong at the moment.
Rusty's a big
He is a
proponent
gigantic
of
advocate.
the mid lane Corki. Okay, so it is going to be Runglaive Ezreal into that mid lane.
Please just do it. Please just do it. I just want to rub this in your face, Roscoe, so bad.
Whoa, I said Yasuo first, sir.
Yeah, you said Yasuo for the other team.
But this is why he couldn't... Okay, but this is why I said it, because if he picks Ezreal, it automatically... Of course you're going to pick Yasuo. You're going to have the win wall. You're just going to jump on top of Ezreal. There's nothing you can do once you get on his face. Why would you open yourself up to that? And Dade plays Yasuo. He's a big Yasuo player, so he knows that that's a possibility. Okay.
Okay. I think there might have been a communication loss there because I got excited. I have a feeling that this might actually happen as well. 10 seconds to go. Ella's been hovering it for a long time.
Commit.
Yeah, and we haven't seen you on these sort of assassins, these melee champions for a long time. But it's happening. Snake taking the Yasuo into the Ezreal, and it looks like it was something that was planned from the beginning. And we'll see how it's going to work here, as of course leaving up the Ezreal was confusing at the beginning, but this is Snake's answer.
You taking Yasuo into Dade, of all players. We talked about Flandre, how he knows the reverse matchup, especially on his signature champions like Fizz. Dade knows Yasuo inside and out.
And as well as the fact that Dade is single-handedly carried on this Ezreal as well. I mean, Windwall is not going to be available 100% of the time. It's not going to be sort of that
20-second
hard
cooldown?
Counter. Exactly. And you don't build a lot of cooldown reduction on Yasuo because it doesn't really fit into his kit.
That's what I like to build on my Yasuo. It's the CDR.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really itemize CDR, but
I
you
just
got
go Frozen Heart first into
Brutalizer. Yeah, you'd have like Brutalizer, Cleaver, Frozen Heart, Yasuo. I got
for the 50% cooldown reduction.
I'm being really cost efficient in my itemization of Yasuo right now.
Yeah, I would have gone Black Cleaver Lucidity Boots myself and relied on my mastery points that I have a whole heap of cooldown reduction in. Don't even worry about it, guys, because that's not going to happen, as we do have a Looper into Flandre there on the top side of the map. Was the Nara in the end into the Maokai, so the opposite of that one. Gragas left up this time, taken away by Condi into ZZR's Rek'Sai, and you just had a little bit of a fit there as you saw Dade versus you.
I just feel like that was such a... He knew he was going to get countered like that, so we'll see if Dade has the confidence. He's already carried before on this Ezreal. I forget which set that they had it in, but he's put on the hard carry pants before.
Yep.
This is typical Dade. I should actually check the win percentage of Masters 3 when they win their first game versus their second game. I have a sneaking suspicion that it skyrockets for Game 2 victories.
I could imagine that as well, but I just want to get into this game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get onto the Rift. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, M3 versus Snake, Game 2, as Yu's picked up the Yasuo into Dade. And we expect these sort of picks from Flandre, you know, saying, look, I'm the arrogant guy, I'm happy to pick whatever I want into you, blah, 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 but it's not you. He's not the one that we normally attribute this sort of thing into.
And again, Yu really likes to play assassins. He said that multiple times. He just does what the team asks of him, which is to play the control mage style. So Yu has this identity of being a control mage player, although he did kind of get... Ooh,
Winter's Bite actually finds Martin here. Nice slow.
Get him.
Yeah.
Get in there. Flash.
Martin with a fadeaway jump shot ward. Immediately turns around here as Dade going to proc the shield. Some flow down here for you.
He didn't flash. I'm disappointed. Yu likes to play these assassins as ZZR. Every time I open my mouth, they're just like, nope, time to fight.
Yep, someone's getting caught somewhere.
Flash.
Yep, Yu wandering up, just trying to body block here. Uses the flow effectively. Mystic Shot's going to land, but both of these Snake members are going to head back and reset this one out.
What this does is it opens up a lot of time for Looper to step forward now into the enemy jungle and place the ward on the red buff, especially so late. Getting that down at 130 means it will be available for 230, which now just provides information of which size ZZR is going to start his jungle and help Masters 3 set up for appropriate gank paths.
Yeah, and it looks right now Snake know exactly where the wards were for M3. Lots of pings down onto that one, and they're going for the lane swap. Martin already on the top side of the map.
So we're trying to dodge the Corki Braum. Corki a little bit better at proccing Braum's passive on that concussive blows than other champions, much like Lucian and how he'll use his Gatling gun.
That was very interesting. Dade actually immediately smiting the Raptor just so that he has that Raptor sense very early on. Very interesting.
Just checking for vision at that point, but he didn't really go anywhere to check with it.
No. And Lupa didn't even use that as a leash at all, so Raptors...
Ruo's just
reset.
helping him out.
Yep. Hanging out here, wants to try and take down a little one. Wasn't able to there as...
He's trying to snipe it with Q and ZZR's body blocking.
Oh, flashes for it! Ridiculous play from Ruo. I'm sorry, my voice completely broke, but
How's
that
puberty?
was silly. Well, I don't know anymore. I don't know. He's back. He's back for more. We know now that he can't flash, but Condi and Lupa, they've made their way around. There's the flash body slam as well. ZZR has to flash out. Flandre now finding himself on the wrong side, but everyone's going to be safe after ZZR's flash.
Okay, so again, what he was trying to do is he was just punching them in the face with his Q. Again, level 1 Braum is ridiculous, but the reason he flashed is because he was trying to get the correct angle to steal the buff with his distant Q, which is why ZZR was positioning like that to try to body block the damage. That was cute.
Steel Tempest from you, going to be able to farm out this minion wave quite nicely. Leaves that one there as Dade gets knocked up.
Okay, let's talk about the Yasuo versus Ezreal matchup. Ezreal already sacrifices pretty much any sort of lane control just by the fact that he has the smite. We'll see what Dade chooses to itemize first. If he's comfortable enough to rush his Sheen and look for more poke damage, or if he needs the assistance farming from the Yasuo push and picks up Trailblazer to give him more AoE control with his smite.
I don't think we've seen Dade do anything but the Trailblazer thus far.
Yeah, he's typically a more passive laner. The big issue is that Yasuo just has so many tools to deal with this Ezreal, not just in the wind wall, which that's the most obvious one of stopping a lot of Ezreal's damage through his skill shots, his true shot barrage, his mystic shot, things like that. But the fact that with the flow, Yasuo can get on top of Ezreal and force him to burn his arcane shift.
Yeah, and then he can close distance again quite easily with that E as well.
So it's just a very scary lane to be in. What's she doing?
Yeah, ZZR couldn't actually see there, as Rek'Sai was, of course, underground. Condi puts the ward over, but doesn't have the flash. We're not going to be able to find too much more, but a lot of close calls here for Snake so far in the early game, but nothing to be found just yet.
Dade doing a good job actually staying up fairly even and close to CS for you.
Yeah. Able to answer back with a little bit of damage there, 33 to 28. ZZR finds his way in as Condi is going to get Frey Sort. ZZR is going to be able to lock down that Raptor camp.
The other big primary difference in this lane is the fact that Yasuo, of course, is a resourceless champion. Although he's not resourceless, he has his flow, but it's not a mana resource. So he's more cooldown oriented, whereas Ezreal's more dependent on having that mana bar available to throw out his abilities. So eventually, he's just going to get whittled down.
Yeah, well, still has one biscuit remaining when Raw comes through, just to try and stop Dade from farming out. Does so successfully here. Steel Tempest once again charged. 5 CS is the advantage here for you as he's just throwing out tornadoes left, right, and center. I just love watching Yasuo in the laning phase, I'm not going to lie to you.
It's really key Yasuo players that they're able to animation cancel correctly. If you look at Dade, actually, when he plays Yasuo, it's really beautiful to watch. Now, the thing about animation canceling is that Yasuo's damage is front-loaded on the front, I guess, of his...
Yeah, yep.
It's front-loaded on the front of his animation. So what you do is you start your auto-attack animation, and then you input another command as soon as the damage goes off, and it just makes you auto-attack quicker, but it's really key to Yasuo, especially in, like, the flow and the movement of the champion. So something to watch for. If you watch Insect play Yasuo, he cancels a lot of auto-attacks.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to animation cancel as quickly as possible, but just doesn't quite have the finesse on it.
Well, actually, a perfect example was just then when you looked like he didn't even hit the cannon bridge but still managed to get the CS.
And it's really important on a champion like Yasuo because his animation is so long. It's not going to double your damage output, but it will make it significantly quicker. Other champions that it's very key on are people like Aurelia.
Aurelia, Caitlyn as well.
Yep.
Does have one of those front-loaded. That's why you often see damage going down before the bolt actually hits him in the face, which is very confusing.
Subtle.
Yeah.
Checking in across the other lanes, though, the big one is going to be the CS discrepancy. So again, we did start out with a lane swap. It's now been swapped back down to the 2v2. And the big winner there is Flandre, 49 CS to 30. But ZZR, looking for a game.
Yeah, in goes the on the hunt as well as... Oh my goodness, Martin does have to flash out of the way. Ruo, oh
Get
my
in there.
god. Is he going to be able to make it out in time? He's not. Years. Finally getting out of there. My goodness, nothing happened.
It was a really nice timed heal from SMLZ to make sure that Rio could get to safety and that Martin wasn't able to proc this Silver Bolt. Now both summoners down for this Vayne, whereas SMLZ still has the flash available on Porky. Meanwhile, top lane.
Yeah, Lupa fighting Flandre here. Boulder's not going to find the tree.
Oh, that's so cute. He throws a little clock tower. I've never seen the Boulder in this skin.
Yeah, the Big Ben. Hit by a Big Ben. It just adds to the flavor.
Is it actually Big Ben?
I don't know. It's a clock. I call it the Big Ben.
It looks like a Peter Pan skin, which I technically think that is the Big Ben that they fly over.
It is. On the way to Neverland is Lupa on the top side of the map. Snake, though, with, once again, an early gold advantage despite the fact that there haven't been any kills down just yet. You can see he's pulled well and truly ahead. Now has the Sheen.
So we talked about, how Dade might go the Trailblazer just to alleviate some of this pressure. What Yu's doing is he's just going to push in Dade as many times as possible and as quickly as possible, because without the completed Runeglaive, the thing that Ezreal suffers from is his ability to last hit and to farm and to clear waves. He doesn't have any sort of AoE ability.
Oh, True Shot Barrage comes through. Condi looking to try and get something down, and just slides on out of there. Oh wow, Ella.
Hello?
That was a monsoon.
Fat fingered.
Interestingly.
Maybe he just really wanted to deny some CS by pushing SMLZ slightly to the left.
Well, didn't quite do anything.
He pushed him.
Well, Flo, I'm gonna go down here for you. Sitting at half health, but farming well and truly happily here in the mid lane. Nice Unbreakable from Ro, stops that tumbled auto attack damage. And you may even have the static shift for himself. No, just the Avarice play at this point.
But it is fairly important, especially to Yasuo's passive. Any sort of crit is going to be doubled, so that's a very cost-efficient item for Yasuo. I call, like Vigar and Cassiopeia's passive, gold scaling passives, because again, every single stat is worth a gold value in this game, and crit is one of the most expensive stats to build.
Yeah.
And the fact that Yasuo gets to double that, so you think on the Brawler's Glove, that's what, 400 gold? It's been a while since I built one. So he's going to double that, so that's effectively 800 free gold from his passive, roughly. And then when you have, your Static Shiv complete and then your Infinity Edge complete, your passive is giving you even more free gold in terms of just the stats that you're accumulating. Of course, it starts to weigh out because you can only get it to a point.
Yep.
But that's the idea. Same thing with Vigar.
I certainly like it.
I really like them. I think they're very strong.
I think it's interesting as well. It puts a different thing into your mind as far as what every item's worth here. You're going to help out taking down this dragon. ZZR are going to waste no time beginning that one as they somehow know that Condi's towards the top side of the map. True Shot Barrage not available just yet, so ZZR is going to be able to lock that one down. Ella trying to turn this one back around. Howlingale not going to be used. Ella's going to finish off that pink ward. So an easy early dragon here at 10 minutes, especially if we're comparing it to game 1.
Yeah, and it wasn't so much the fact that they suspected that Condi was up on the top side. It was the fact that Dade wasn't in the lane and that you saw which way he exited. And then just knowing that there's no way Ezreal can face check into Yasuo, he'd just get assassinated. So the fact that you has so much control over this mid lane gave him the go-ahead. Okay, pull the trigger on Dragon.
Well, going to just wind wall the entire True Shot Barrage there, saves the minion wave, makes sure that Dade has to spend some time, but he does have the Runeglaive now completed with that Trailblazer as well. So a couple of charges on that Smite means that he'll be able to clear out these minion waves a little bit faster.
What is he yanking? I thought for sure that he was going to go for the Scuttle Crab, but wandered up a little bit higher. He's possibly looking for a gank. I think that's bizarre.
Yeah, you're just moving around the map.
Wasted time. Dade, again, still doing a fantastic job staying relatively close in CS. It's about a 14 discrepancy, which that will equate to about a kill worth of gold.
You holding on to those minions there in the mid lane, making sure that he can get around, but ZZR, he's here in the bottom side. Oh, there's the Monsoon. Condemn those saves, Ro, after the use of the flash, and SMLZ is going to make it out alive. So no first blood, my goodness. This game has been holding it for a long time.
And likewise, the True Shot Barrage did go down, but hold on. Dade in trouble.
Yeah, there's the last breath. Yu, though, taking a lot of damage. Teleports coming in on both sides. Yu, is he going to get there? Flashes for it. First blood for the Yasuo. Finds his way back in once more. Flandre's here. Ella's down as well. Yu somehow still alive. Looper, one more auto attack. Nails the kill for the answer, but he's going to sacrifice his own life. It's 1 for 2 in the mid lane.
And again, they lost control over their bottom side. SMLZ may be in trouble here. He's got Ella behind him.
Yeah, Martin's looking excited here as
well.
well.
As ZZR.
Yep, ZZR's here. Do have a ward. They know exactly what's going on.
Okay, once again, Snake get control over the bottom side of the map over SMLZ and Rua, and that translates into aggression on the mid lane. The fact that, you know, you finding the final breath onto Dade, but more importantly, the fact that Snake was able to collapse from the bottom up.
Yep, ZZR. Nice use dodging out of the way of that True Shot Barrage as well, as SMLZ is going to spot them out with the Scrying Orb, and Ella's going to protect his backing AD carry, but let's have a look at this one again.
Okay, did he actually dodge the Mystic Shot through the
it was that.
the final breath? Finds the first blood here. No surprise that Yasuo is going to be able to outduel Ezreal. However, the big issue is that he didn't have any mana. But more importantly, playing to the bottom side of the map, because Snake are so much stronger and so much farther ahead here, they're able to collapse, get more members there, and then snowball an advantage.
And now, of course, Yu does have the Static Shiv, has the Mercury's Treads as well, so going to mitigate a little bit of the damage here from Dade. Not necessarily about getting rid of the, having the tenacity. More about that magic resist here in this lane at the moment. It's going to help him against Looper as far as that Gnar is concerned, and the concussive blows from Ro as well.
Also, with the bottom tier tower taken down, they are going to go ahead and move Martin and Ella up into that top side. Obviously, also able to do that because the dragon is taken, so it's not like they're losing anything by moving their numbers discrepancy to the other side of the map.
Yeah, and that might seem obvious that they're going to switch this one up, but it has been something that Snake haven't been doing. They haven't necessarily been making these intelligent map movements and
being proactive, as well as they should.
Their swaps, yeah.
Yeah.
Has been happening this game, though. Snake looking like they're well and truly a cohesive unit, especially at this time. So 2,000 gold to lead here at 14.5 minutes. So this fight is going to find Martin. M3 they're looking to try and find something back.
A lot of pings going down in River. As well as some skirmishing.
Getting aggressed on there by Lupo, who just rushes him. Vengeful Maelstrom is there, but Condi's found his way in. Dade here with a lot of damage. ZZR falls down. Yu still trying to kill Condi, gets it. And Dade as well, now in trouble. Not going to find the Tornado. Mystic shots are good as well as Essence Flux comes in. Martin, there's the final hour pop. Ro, oh, the Condemn. Glacial Fissure not going to find too much at all as Martin just tumbles straight into a Phosphorus Bomb. Doesn't care about it. As again, a decent trade for Snake.
Just having more members there. Yu doing his best impression. Dodging back and forth there to avoid trading 2 for 2. Giving Masters free to even trade there. Dodging some rockets as well as the Mystic shots from Dade.
Yeah, a bit of a jungler trade there as well, as Dade did manage to pick up a kill onto ZZR. So you mentioned the fact that he's staying up in farm, still 15 separating them, but it's not too much.
No, especially because it's the Yasuo into the Ezreal. Dade's doing a fantastic job with this matchup since Yasuo, again, has so many tools to punish Ezreal.
We'll see whether he can translate it. Of course, Ezreal, we were demonstrated by Dade himself that this pickup does ridiculous things late game. We'll see whether Dade can actually make it to that point.
He really only needs 2 items before he can start to take off. I believe, this is 5.13, so Luden's Echo still working.
I believe so, yeah.
In tandem with Runeglaive, yeah, the changes haven't gone through on 5.14, which I'm assuming that that's what that book is going to turn into.
Oh, no, 5.12 was the Luden's Echo Ezreal. 5.13 was when Luden's Echo was changed slightly with Mystic Shot, so not going to be building that one anymore. But Dade didn't build it anyway. He was always the...
He did the Rylai's, the blue Ezreal.
He was, yeah, some interesting stuff.
His favorite item is Rylai's. He builds it on every single champion.
I like the item too, honestly.
No, I think it's a great item and very cost efficient for the stats that it gives, especially the changes to slows. But hold on, Snake taking Dragon and Yu looking for SMLZ. He's got a creep wave.
Yeah, wanders into the creep wave there as well. SMLZ is not going anywhere. Flashes, but Yu just going to E onto him. take down the kill.
You knew as soon as SMLZ saw the creep wave coming next to him, he was like, minions, please.
Yep.
Obviously, empowers Yasuo's chase potential because he's able to burn his flow through those creeps and just get so much more mobility.
The dishy-dashy.
Did you just call it the dippy-dashy?
Dishy-dashy. Throw, though, once again going to get caught out. Final hour's down again, and condemned into the wall. Martin locks down the kill. Dade now can't find his way back in. Flandre's ignited as well. Twisted advance going to get him to a minion as Ella has to flash over the wall. M3 now trying to close in on this team fight, and you just complete spare time. Going to be trying to take down this inner turret on the bottom side of the map.
And again, Flandre eats up so many resources from Masters 3 that allows his team to make plays elsewhere on the map. Very in a almost Darien sense.
Oh, whenever anything's described as Darien-esque, I get very excited.
Dade with kind of a unique flash right there. I think he was trying to get a better angle to check where Flandre would go, but like you said, dodging away and creating space with his twisted advance. But he actually flashed over the thick wall. I think he set up a missing shot. Didn't find it. Bad damage from Looper, though.
Yeah, Looper going to get condemned into the wall. Oh. There's the Silver Bolt. Ella gets it with the Ignite, but Martin might pay for it. No, he's still alive somehow. SMLZ now way too far ahead. There it is. Vengeful Maelstrom. There was no vengeance to really get there, but certainly still manages to get the kill.
Ruo running headlong into disaster, and meanwhile still, you continuing to push forward. So Snake, we talked about how, you know, sometimes mid-game their proactive plays stumble a bit, showing complete reform of character. Being super proactive, setting up these plays and executing them perfectly.
Yeah, and again, not a tower to be taken here from M3 as we have a look at the replay.
So the big thing here is the fact that Looper, he's so close to that stacked Mega Gnar form, but unable to proc it and save his life. It is going to be the Ignite that'll pick him up from Janna. And then SMLZ, you're in all sorts of trouble. It's going to be the fadeaway Vengeful Maelstrom.
Yeah, easily takes it down as Dade going to be taking some wolves here. Of course, being a pseudo-jungler, going to help him out. Does have interesting pickup in the
Fiends?
The Fiends and the Holy Grail.
Yeah, you know, the MR is really going to protect him away from Yasuo.
And
that's facetious, by the way. That was sarcasm.
Yeah, that was super sarcasm. I have a feeling that MR is not what you need.
He did this build last time we saw him play the Runeglaive Ezreal. He gets strong to a point, so what did he do? He went Trail, Runeglaive into Athene's, into QSS, into his death cap. And because the death cap was so delayed to 4th item, Dade just didn't have enough power to make his team relevant, was almost able to bring it back, but he delayed his power spike by so often. So he's done this before. I just don't like it.
I especially don't like it when you've got no use for the MR apart from Flandre and maybe Ella. Like, I just think it's a bit silly.
Whoa, Ella is 1-0-5.
Well, that's a good point. Doesn't have his Magi's just yet.
Gotta protect himself.
Not gonna be stealing any souls. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you saw how bloodthirsty Ella was last game when he stole those kills from you.
Yeah.
Don't mess. Itemization with Dade.
Precisely.
Maybe he'll buy a Magi's next.
He's got a blasting one, so it looks like it might be the Rabbiden's death cap, avoiding the QSS this time around.
Well, he can't QSS a displacement.
Yeah, good point.
So there's not much purpose for one here unless he wants to get out of the Twisted Advance. I think that's the only CC that he can get out of on this team. Oh, we can display or QSS Janna's slow.
That's true.
But
Janna's
any of the knockups, the Tornado, the Unburrow, Arcane Smash.
Last Breath. Yes, the majority.
It's not like the QSS will bring him back to the ground.
Hey,
that would be a
Twisted
cool...
Advance. You can get out of Twisted Advance. All right, Sapling slow. You can QSS that if you want to.
It's a death cap.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Hello?
Okay, no one has a death cap. I thought I needed to look over to ZZR and see whether he had a death cap. I don't know. Felt like something crazy might have been happening, but not going to just yet. Flandre does have the Righteous Glory completed, almost towards that present heart.
Are they going to dive? So Dade doing a great job, offering a lot of wave clear to his team. This is the last standing outer tower, so it is definitely the easiest objective for Snake to acquire. However, I think they're going to have to pull the trigger, and I think they're going to have to look for a flanking dive.
Well, you might just look for taking down the bottom inhibitor turret.
So what they're doing now is if they can't break the wave clear strength of Ezreal, they're just going to try to pull Masters 3 around on the map through their deep vision, which is primarily on the top side, and try to make a pick and then translate that into an objective.
You're just sweeping through these.
Oh, the animation cancel. That's what I'm talking about.
Beautiful, isn't it? That's why it's so good watching Yasuo's farm.
Good Yasuo's.
I don't know. Press E on a minion wave, I'm still going to be happy. Easy to please, Frost, don't worry about it. Well, Flandre is going to explode some minions here under the tower, and Snake doing a fantastic job holding on to every turret on the map at the same time.
Dade's turret is still up. Here comes the Void Rush.
ZZR finds his way in. Could have been dangerous if Snake weren't so far ahead.
I think also because Ella was right there. If they had decided to do anything frisky.
Yeah. Gotta watch out for M3 being
Okay,
frisky.
we're gonna fight over this dragon. Let's go, boys. Now Flandre does have his teleport up just about now. He also has the home guard, but more importantly, the righteous glory. So look for the flank. As Masters 3, so confident with the stacked Narvar, are gonna start this round.
Yeah, ZZR does have the flash, can possibly get in there. Flandre's already teleported, but he's super low. The knockups, there's the Nara to the wall from Lupa though, as Rowe able to get the Glacial Fissure down. Snake trying to get in there. Immediately it is going to be Condi falling down. ZZR takes out Dade. Lots of damage now missing from this fight as Lupa the last man standing, and Snake just too far ahead.
Big issue is the fact, yes, Dade was perfectly placed in the bottom. Looper. Oh, look at how quick he is.
Flash from Ella doesn't land the Howling Gale. That was frisky, Frostgren.
So they find 4 for none right there. We'll see what they translate it into. I was going to say, it's either going to be the Dragon, the mid-tier tower, but it looks like they're going to go 1-up and just take the Baron.
They walked through 2 towers there as well to get there. Martin tanking it up on his way through.
They also have the Monsoon available. So free Baron for Snake at 24 minutes in. Again, another 10k gold lead as they will complete this Baron. And Snake in full control.
Yeah, and you as well now has the Alacrity enchantment on those Mercury's Treads. Extra movement speed and everything from the Trinity Force. And I love this build. I mean, you can get Rusty to talk about this for about 15 years if you want to, but he's a massive advocate of the Trinity Force on Yasuo, and it just gives you so much. You can't necessarily use the AP, but that's the only thing that isn't fantastic for Yasuo, because movement speed is so important.
Likewise, you're also going to get more crit off of it, more chase potential from the Phage. Like you said, the really only thing is that Mana Crystal into the Sheen itemization. So yeah, it is very cost effective for a lot of Yasuo stats. I know that Rusty's a big Yasuo player.
Just loves the champion as well. I mean, this particular build, very, very strong. Look at how fast he runs. It's silly.
Especially with the Alacrity. So I wanted to talk about that last fight. I was curious if we were going to get a replay of it, but Dade was in great position for that fight, got into the back line, was able to just throw out his Mystic Shot, his True Shot Barrage, things like that.
Yeah.
The downside, he had no mana. He didn't have a blue buff. He had 0 mana. He wasn't able to output the damage. And again, Snake are just so far ahead that they just ran through them, so.
I want to highlight what has sort of come to be a huge problem here for M3 though. It's the fact that this Vayne, Martin's 5-0-3. We haven't really spoken about him too much this game, but my goodness has he been accelerated, and that is 3 items on a hyper carry.
But I think that also kind of speaks to Martin and his posturing in his position in a team. You know, when Crystal is 5-0-3, we're talking about Crystal because he's making those plays. And Martin is a great player. He's been a great addition to Snake's lineup, but it's not the, like, Martin's not the guy who's setting up into making those plays. He can follow them up. I wouldn't say he's a playmaker, but he's a play finisher.
Yeah, true.
And it's still about, you know, Flandre and you and Ella creating the space for Martin to run wild. So yes, 5-0-3, fantastic game for him, doing his job, does it wonderfully, fits really well with Snake, but I'm never going to be like, Martin earned all of those kills by himself. It was all him. Whereas like when Crystal's on Draven, you know, sometimes he'll just go ham, just go out of his mind.
The rest of the team doesn't really need to be there either. It's ZZR thinks that he might have found Condi here, but in goes Flandre onto Rowe. Oh my goodness, the knock-up. Rowe's so dead as he was able to get the last breath there as well. Martin able to just destroy SMLZ. True Shot Barrage comes across. It is going to be the shutdown here as Dade answers back. Snake may have been slowed in their attempt to take this game, but Inhibitor still under fire. Windwall there as well, blocking a whole lot of what M3 want to do. And the inhibitor not going to be answered for. Oh, Flandre actually makes his way in. Lupa with a decent rage bar. But not going to get that Mega Nut just yet, and Snake able to get out.
The re-engage.
Flandre back in. There's the last breath. Nard into the wall there as Lupa trying to turn it around. Flandre locks down the kill. It's a double for the Tree Man as Dade's going to die as well. You gets that one. Glacial Fissures here, and you just spinning once again. Sweeping strike. There it is. The SMLZ, I don't know why you were that far forward, as the triple kill for the Yasuo comes in, and Snake, I think, can translate this into a win.
The thing about Snake this game is we never really saw a true 5v5 other than that one dragon. If you think about the strengths of Snake and their identity as a team, it's always been their ability to 5v5.
Yeah.
They're now starting to mature and evolve into more of a skirmish-based team, utilizing their pressure points on the map slightly differently. Flandre will always cause a big distraction and draw resources up top, but still, when you think about the identity Snake, it's Flandre making a teleport, starting a big 5v5 on the bottom side of the map, running away with it. The fact that it's, you know, these 3v3s or these 2v2s, just opening up Snake more, and they're looking great running into the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's where they put Snake's bottom lane as well that's very, very different. The fact that Ella and Martin are now, you know, proactively, I love that word that you used in the middle of that cast, proactively moving around the map to be in the right places to take the next objective. And they didn't lose a turret that whole series.
Yeah,
able to win 2 games in surrenders against M3, and they did not drop a structure.
And the big thing, too, is, again, you know, Martin and ZZR are now the starting AD carry and jungle position for Snake, but, what, week 8 of the season, they're relatively still new, and just the comfort that Ella has, you know, playing with Crystal for pretty much the entirety of 2 splits, and then changing up and finding the same type of synergy with Martin, bringing Snake's bot lane into a different play style and really abusing it with their new matured style.
Well, M3, off the back of that, now goes 0-4 for the weekend. Still one more game for Masters 3 to play, but it's against EDG.
And again, it all goes back to what are Masters 3 sitting on? 22 points. RNG and unlimited potential. UP in particular stumbled a bit out of the gate, but they had more collective points to look for before the closing out series. So hope is still alive for UP to make a run at that playoff spot over Masters 3. More importantly, though, RNG, they will play tonight, I believe, against Invictus Gaming, and right now they're, what, 3-1 against the top teams in the league, so Royal truly never gives up.
They most certainly do not. And there's also the fact that, you know, a lot of everything else was happening very, very well, but we still have 3 series